Hi everybody, today we'll be going over reducing problem behaviors. You'll be hearing from myself, Maria, Jessica, Christina, Olivia, and Jacqueline. Hi everybody, today we'll be going over reducing problem behaviors. You'll be hearing
a token economy is a behavior change system that seeks to increase appropriate replacement behaviors and decrease negative or inappropriate behaviors. In other words, this will help your students learn to replace their problem behaviors with a positive behavior that serves the same function. Learners earn tokens that they can cash in for a highly reinforcing item or activity. Teachers give tokens to students who display the desired behaviors. Tokens can be anything from tickets to stickers. When implementing this token economy, we will be using a group contingency. A group contingency is a contract in which all members are responsible for the outcome. This means that your students will also be working on teamwork during this token economy. In order for your class to earn a token, all of your students must display appropriate behaviors. It may seem unfair to restrict rewards for the students who are following the rules, but this is how it will help to motivate your students. You can always provide the students who are following the rules with lots of social attention and praise to remind them that following the rules earns tokens. Doing this will increase motivation for individual students because they will not want to let down the group. We will be using a token chart to keep track of the tokens that each class earns. This will be the spot that you place the stickers that your students earn throughout the day. Each class will have the opportunity to earn a sticker for the chart during each transition that they make. In order to earn a sticker, all of the students need to follow the rules for the entire transition. So this means that if one student in the class is not following the rules, even if it's just for a part of your transition, the class will not earn a token. Students can earn a sticker for following the school-wide hallway rules. Those rules are keeping your voice off, following teacher instructions, and staying within an arm's length of the person in front of you. Reinforcement is the most important part of a token economy. Without reinforcement, a token economy will not work. When we talk about reinforcement, we mean anything that increases the likelihood that the target behavior will occur in the future. So this will be anything that could increase the frequency of your students following the rules. It could be anything from attention to the token that they'll earn. In a different situation, it could even be food. So how can your students, we know how your students can earn the tokens, but what will they be earning? If they get 1 to 2 stickers throughout the day, they will earn 5 extra minutes of recess. If they get 3 to 4 stickers throughout the day, this will mean 15 extra minutes of recess. If students are able to earn 5 or more stickers throughout the day, this will equal 30 extra minutes of recess. At the end of every day, the students will be able to trade in the stickers that they earned for extra recess time. And make sure to praise your students whenever you see them following the rules. And don't forget to celebrate each sticker. Your students will be reinforced through social attention and praise, and it will increase the likelihood of them following the rules in the future, which will increase the chances that they have to earn a sticker and earn the extra recess time. So this is a cheat sheet. So if you ever need a reminder of what you do throughout the day, if you're using this token economy, this is the place that you can come and you can look at this and see a quick breakdown. So we have a quick reminder of the hallway rules. They are: keep your voice off, follow your teacher's instructions, and stay within an arm's length of the person in front of you. And remember, all of your students need to follow the rules for the entire time that they are transitioning for your class to earn a sticker. And make sure to use praise when you see your students following the rules. That will make sure that they'll follow the rules in the future. And at the end of the day, the stickers that they've earned can be traded in for 1 to 2 stickers. They'll get 5 extra minutes of recess. For 3 to 4 stickers, 15 extra minutes. And for 5 or more stickers, they will be able to get 30 extra minutes of recess.
Now we're going to look over what materials are required for the token economy. Our goal was to make all the materials practical and affordable. The stickers used will serve as the tokens for the token economy. Stickers can also be individualized by grade, such as smiley faces for pre-K and sunshines for kindergarten. Each class will have a display board hung up next to the board in the classroom as a visual reminder to motivate the students. This board will help students monitor their progress as a class and will hopefully encourage them to collaborate and earn stickers required for a selected reinforcer. The poster of transition rules is meant to be a visual reminder as well. These will include 4 concise directions with visuals, including stay quiet, follow the teacher's instructions, count off, and remain within an arm's reach of the classmate in front of you at all times. The data sheets will include printed tables and will be given to the teachers. These will include the date, number of successful trials, number of unsuccessful trials, number of total trials, percentage of tokens earned, criteria to meet goal, and it will also indicate if the goal was met by writing yes or no. This will also help teachers monitor their progress and make sure they're consistently implementing the intervention.
The flow chart displays step-by-step what teachers should do in different situations throughout intervention. Throughout this intervention, students will follow all rules while transitioning in the hallway. Transition rules are to keep your voice off, follow teacher instructions, and stay within arm's reach of your friend in front of you. If students are to successfully follow rules during current transition, praise should be delivered intermittently during the transition. Praise includes thumbs up, behavior praise, high fives, and other social means of delivering reinforcement. At the end of each successful transition, students will receive a token. When they have earned 1 to 2 tokens, the students will receive 5 extra minutes of free time. When they have earned 3 to 4 tokens, the students will receive 15 extra minutes of free time. And when they have earned 5 or more tokens, the students will receive 30 minutes of extra free time. However, if students do not follow the rules during transition, or in other words, they do not keep their voice off, do not follow teacher instructions, or do not stay within arm's reach of their friend in front of them, the following should occur. Throughout the transition, low-level intermittent praise should be delivered if transitioning behavior improves. One may use differential social reinforcement throughout the transition if performance improves. At the end of the unsuccessful transition, no tokens will be delivered.
So now we'll talk about accessing reinforcement. Baseline showed that students were following hallway rules in 20% of opportunities. This meant that every 2 out of 10 times around the hallway, they were following the rules of the hallway of being quiet, staying in line, and following teachers' directions. Initially, students will need to follow these hallway rules in 30% of opportunities, or 3 out of 10 times in the hallway, in order to earn reinforcement. So this is a small movement. They only need to follow the rules 1 more time out of every 10 opportunities in order to gain that reinforcement. So once reinforcement has been accessed at this level for 5 days, the percentage of opportunities will increase by 10%. So the idea here is that we want them to reach reinforcement. We don't want it to be too hard to reach reinforcement that they just quit trying. So by only upping it by 10% each time, or 1 opportunity each time, these kids will be able to read reinforcement a little bit easier and want to follow the rules in the hallway to get that reinforcement. So this means that students will need to follow hallway rules for 40% of opportunities for reaching reinforcement and so on. So we'll start at 30%, we'll go up to 40% after 5 days, 50% after the next 5 days, and so on and so forth. By structuring the reinforcement schedule in this fashion, we're allowing students to have areas yet still reach reinforcement. So they're still allowed to make mistakes. We all make mistakes. And so we don't want to discourage them for having made mistakes, but they'll still be able to reach reinforcement even with making mistakes. So this skill will be considered mastered, or they will be able to say, yep, our kids are doing great. They are following the rules. We don't need such a strict schedule anymore. But we will consider this mastered when the students follow hallway rules for 80% of opportunities across 5 consecutive days. Again, 80% shows that we're allowed to make mistakes every so often, and that it's not going to not give us reinforcement or some kind of reward because we're human and we have errors.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about data collection. So why is it important for us to collect data? It's important for us to collect data because data allows us to tell whether or not the intervention was effective, identify trends in responding, monitor behavior change. Data will be collected at the end of each day using a data collection data sheet. At the end of each week, data will then be graphed. So here is a sample of what the data collection sheet for the school-wide intervention will look like. So the actions are at the end of each day before you allow the kids to cash in for tokens, record the number of successful trials of walking transitions, and also record the number of unsuccessful trials. Find the percentage of tokens earned by using the following formula. Number of successful trials divided by the number of total trials times 100. If the percentage of tokens earned is higher than the goal criteria for that day, indicate yes in the goal met box. If it is not higher, indicate no in the goal met box. So there is a sample of what this might look like. So you would indicate the date. In this scenario, there was 1 successful walking trial and there were 5 unsuccessful transition trials. So that gives us a total of 6 trials. So we're going to do 1 divided by 6. That means that they were earning tokens 16% of the time that was available. And they needed to be earning tokens 30% of the time. So they didn't meet their goals. So this class would not be allowed to cash in for reinforcements at the end of their day. This is a sample of what a chart might look like if you were to graph your data sheet at the end of the week. So down at the bottom, we just have some dates. So you'll have a date, one date for every day of the week. So there should be 5 points for at the end of every week. And you just graph that percentage that we saw on the previous page. So if I was graphing the sample data, I would have graphed it as 16% for the date that was indicated. So the goal is, when you're looking at a graph, is we would like to see an increase in the average level of the percentage of success. So here we have baseline, and it shows that they're averaging success about probably like around 25% of the time. And then we have a phase change line to show that we started intervention. And when we move to intervention, it looks like in this sample graph that now they're averaging success about 50% of the time. So we saw that average success increase, which is exactly what we want to see on the graph if our intervention is having success. So now we're going to run through a couple of examples. So for example number one, I'm going to give you a scenario, and then we're going to kind of work through what you would do as a teacher if you were in this scenario. So the scenario is you're a teacher who is about to walk your class down the hallway to go into the bathroom. So that's your scenario. You're ready to leave your class. You're ready to walk into the hallway with your class. So what should you do? So you should prepare your class to be successful by reviewing the rules of the token system with your class before you enter the hallway. So you could say something along the lines of, remember, our rules when we are walking in the hallway are stay quiet, follow directions, keep within arm's reach of the classmate in front of you. If we follow all the rules, we will earn a token when we return. So by prepping your class with the rules, you're setting them up to be successful in the hallway and giving them that extra reminder of what they need to do to be able to earn their reinforcement. So example number two. So you're a teacher and you're walking your class in the hallway. They're all facing forward, following their peers in front of them, and their voices are off. So what should you do now? So if your class is doing really well, you should go ahead and deliver behavior-specific praise. So you can say something along the lines of, you guys are doing a good job keeping your voices off and walking in line in the hallway. And then when you reach your destination, you should immediately deliver a token to your class for positive behavior. And say something along the lines of, I'm really proud of you guys for doing so well in the hall, and I'm adding a sticker to today's chart. Good job, class. So what that does for them is that just kind of points out for them specifically what behaviors it was that you liked, so that they can keep those in the future. And it really clearly outlines, what they're doing so that they can continue to do those behaviors moving forward and continue to be successful. So here's example number three. So you're a teacher that's walking in the hallway with your class. Two of your students are roughhousing and they keep pushing each other out of line. So what should you do now? So you need to provide that behavior-specific feedback again so that your students know exactly what it is that they need to change moving forward. You can say something along the lines of, Matthew and John, I don't like how you keep falling out of line and pushing each other. Please keep your hands to yourself. So now as a teacher, you've given them a direction, and one of their rules is that they need to follow directions. So you'll give them a chance now to follow your directions, and let's say the behavior continues. So then you can come back and you can say, Matthew and John, you're breaking rule number 2, follow teacher instructions. You are not helping your class earn tokens. So hopefully that will be enough, to kind of get them in gear. And if not, then you can keep reminding them that they're not following instructions, that they're losing tokens for their class, but let's say that they do hold themselves together after that second redirection. You should then later provide behavior-specific praise for their improvements. So Matthew and John, you're doing a great job staying in line and keeping your hands and feet to yourself. Keep up the good work. So now that they're doing better, we need to point that out for them. We need to catch them being good so that they do have some positive feedback in there, and they'll be more motivated next time to follow those instructions and directions right off the bat. When you get back to your room, because those two students broke one of the transition rules, you cannot deliver a token to the class. So they'll just have caused the class then in this scenario to forfeit the token. Okay, so before the intervention can begin, we need to go over with the students what the rules and guidelines are, and make sure that they understand what the expectation is. So we should plan on explaining all these rules and guidelines in the whole intervention to the students at a school-wide assembly on Monday morning. It's important that we excuse me, present to all of the students in the school at once so that they have consistency in what they are hearing. So if we present it as a school-wide group, then we can ensure that all the students have heard the same thing, all the students are being expected to perform in the same way. So after the school-wide assembly, the classes will disperse and go back to their classrooms with the teacher. Once they return to those classrooms, now that they have the general idea of the intervention, the teacher should show them, a visual display of the rules, and a visual display of the token board where their class tokens that they earn will be going. So the teachers should show these to the class, and then they should open up the classroom floor for questions or anything that the students might want to know more about the intervention or might not quite understand. We need to get all of that squared away so that we can be sure that the students fully understand what is being expected of them, how they can earn tokens, how they can cash in those tokens for reinforcement. It's really important that they are completely on board with what the expectation is in order for this to be successful. So once the intervention has been explained to all the students and the students don't have any more questions anymore, then we're ready to go ahead and put the intervention into effect. So our goal is that, we'll kind of have Monday as an explanation day, and then the intervention will be ready to go into effect by Tuesday morning. So that should be explained to all the students as well. Like, okay, like we went over everything, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to start this tomorrow morning. So when you come in tomorrow, you'll be expected, to follow these rules in order to try to earn tokens for your class. So now that we have covered kind of what a token economy is, what a group contingency is, how we're going to be tracking our students' behaviors, what your expectations are as teachers in order to help implement this protocol, how you can help your students be successful, and how we can get started with putting this into implementation. What questions do you still have for us? If you have any questions for us, if you're unsure kind of what your role is as a teacher, or if there's things that you don't understand on how to present them to your class, now would be a good time to ask those questions so we can kind of go over that and make sure that we're all on the same page, get everything squared away so that we can set our kids up for success. So if you do have questions now, we'll be happy to take those. But if you don't have questions now, but one kind of pops up in your head a little bit later, we'll still be more than happy to go over them. So if questions do come up later, you can always email us at hallsbcba@hes.edu, and we will be happy to answer any of those